Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Creating the Vision. I have a dear and childhood friend with me today who is also a really awesome rock star at what she does. So I want to introduce her and welcome her to the show because we're going to be talking all about connect and connection. So I love that we're talking today a lot about partnerships, a lot about growth, development, like in the literal sense, and in developing out of people and of concepts, ideas, all of the things. So, welcome, Carroll Van Hook Weaver, to Creating the Vision. You have been with Akara Partners since 2019 as one of the original members to launch the Kenect brand in Nashville and the Phoenix markets. You bring over 25 years of experience in hospitality, customer service, food and beverage, hotel management, and 10 plus years in student housing development, which really cracks me up because I still think we're in high school. So
Oh,
I
I
don't know
know.
how we've both had careers for 25 years plus
25,
because
like we started when we were 15, obviously. We're workaholics.
obviously, we are child prodigies, of course, yes. But in your role as director of leasing and marketing, it includes the successful, execution of marketing strategies, the launch of the corporate housing division of Kenect back in 2023, which resulted in $3 million in revenue within 4 months of launching the division. I mean, it is just incredible. I love Kenect, spelled Kenect. So a little play on that.
Yep.
But I want you to tell more about Kenect and its just amazing platform, what it stands for. I have had the opportunity to have a partnership with you guys. I love that you have opened up your space literally to me to come. I've stayed at Kenect. You guys have hosted me for a workshop where I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks, which we're going to talk about this event. And it's kind of why we decided to sync up and really promote just this beautiful space that you guys have because it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I want everyone to know about it.
Aw.
So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just so glad you're
Thank
here.
you so much. I mean, we go back to middle school at SCAPA,
Yeah.
the art school. I mean, we have to give a shout out to Miss Lobb and Miss
Woo!
Politis, our dance teachers, and of course,
Yes.
Miss Diana, right? Hi,
Yes.
Miss Diana. Look at us together
Woo!
now.
I know.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I mean, you and I have really been, and I've always looked up to you as almost a sister. I mean, you're only 1 year above me in grade school, and, just always seeing your accomplishments and, your drive and your motivation everything that you've accomplished in your career is just remarkable. So I'm just beyond honored that we're reconnected to talk about
Yes.
Kenect and everything you're doing with, how you're helping companies and employees of those companies to really be specific with their goals and to really manifest and reach whatever you want to reach. And it doesn't have to be cheesy or just jotted down on a paper, but the what you've created with your program and your workbook and your work sessions is so creative, because this is really what we need as busy professionals, because we will just jot things down of what we want. We have to get our checklist done, but if we stop and think, what do we really want? What is our 5 year plan? What is our 10 year plan? And then how do we get there? Is it financially? Is it travel? Is it investing back into our businesses? Whatever it is, what you're creating it goes so far, like beyond, to not only help people with their careers, but also their personal goals. And it's just incredible. And it's right in line with our brand pillars of Kenect.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And speaking of brand pillars, and thank you so much. That was so kind of you. I just always adored you and your sister. You guys are just the best.
We have a
You
lot
guys
of
are just
fun. We have a lot of fun.
we have a lot of fun dancing together
Work
and like
hard. Oh my gosh.
work hard. Yes, that's right. Exactly. I love it. Love it. But yes, speaking of those brand pillars, what are the brand pillars of Kenect? I mean, I absolutely am obsessed and love this concept. And from the moment you shared this with me several years ago, I have just really taken to this whole idea and this concept. And I think that, gosh, I kind of wish, I could go back 20 years and like be a member of Kenect, like in a city that, has it where I could take advantage of all that you guys
Everything
offer.
under one roof. Right. So, I mean, our brand pillars are hospitality, innovation, creativeness, and leadership. And that's what we take to our team. So, that is our team brand pillars, and then that trickles out into our communities. So, going to the hospitality, we like to hire people within hospitality from food and beverage, from hotels, from real estate and property management, because when you have those backgrounds and those skills, working with customer service and anticipating needs and adding small details and practice active listening. I feel from my hotel experience, working in restaurants all throughout college, and just my whole career has always been hospitality and customer service. So you remember people's names. You call them by their last name. You active listen that, oh, so and so just got a promotion, or they just got a dog, or so and so's family has a sick member. And then you can take those and add those little details throughout their lives and throughout their experience when they live at your property. So that's really important to our brand pillar, that we active listen and we are really engaged with our members. And speaking of members, we are apartments. It is co-working. It is a social club, but everybody's a member. So when we were developing this brand, when I came over in 2019, in multifamily or apartments, we call them a resident, right? Resident. Well, with Kenect, we wanted to everybody feel like a member, because when you travel and live at a Kenect or you have a membership at Kenect, you can travel and use any Kenect nationwide. And this is what we're developing. We started in Chicago with this brand. Rajan Shastri, he's the owner founder of Kenect, and he was one of the forefront developers of purpose-built student housing. So in the early 2000s, if you guys remember, some of you, I'm not sure your demographic of your audience, but when we were in college, there was no purpose-built really housing. It was kind of on the up and coming. So before the 2000s, if a college student wanted to live off campus, they just found an apartment, right? And they had to get furniture. They had to get their utilities set up. They may not have had a washer and dryer, all those things that we expect every single day of our lives now, right? So CA Ventures is one of the original companies, amazing company, and they developed the forefront, purpose-built housing. And that became student housing. So that is where they really didn't even have a name for it, off-campus student housing. So it became purpose-built. So fast forward to 2008, 2009, this whole generation throughout the 2000s have now had an apartment with furniture, their own private bathroom, a washer and dryer inside the unit, gyms, pools, pet parks, programming. So you're around other like-minded individuals that you're living around. And this is now transitioned into, now you're in the city. So Kenect is a byproduct of purpose-built housing for off-campus. And then now this product is catering to busy professionals, traveling professionals, musicians, athletes, healthcare, pilots, anybody that really doesn't have that 9 to 5 typical job and is really not in their apartment that much. So Kenect will always be in the heart of the city. You have to be able to walk outside your front door and be in front of everything. Now, when I'm at my buildings, I find myself not even leaving the building because everything is literally under one roof. Remember when you stayed there? You went to the gym, you were at the pool,
Yep.
then you're in co-working, there's 2 coffee bars. I mean, you really don't, you can use the printer to print anything. It's such a massive space. So, but if I do leave the building, I'm right by restaurants and entertainment and sports venues, and you can just walk everywhere. So that's the vibe of Kenect. And if you go to akarapartners.com and look at our portfolio, you'll see that we really want to be in the top 30 cities. But there's some side markets that we're now dabbling in where there is purpose-built needs for, let's say, a semiconductor or a certain software manufacturing company that we use for our search engines, or a really well-known electric car company that needs dedicated housing. So we're working with some strategic partnerships for more dedicated purpose-built housing. And I know I keep going on, but it's so neat that this concept was developed in 2011. I mean, that's when really Rajan was starting to launch Akara Partners and this concept Kenect. Because after traveling the world, the service type of living is really popular already in Europe and Asia. People don't need that huge of a footprint because they're outside, they're using the amenities, they're not really living inside their apartment. It's really just there as they're sleeping, catch a show, cook a meal, and then you're out the door. And this lifestyle is not for everybody. And as a marketing director, I love that because I know specifically who I need to target. I'm not trying to get everybody. I know my different buckets of people that that would love this lifestyle. And, while we want to cater to everybody, we know our demographic. And that's what's exciting, because when we see our demographic come to us and the light bulb goes off, they're like, okay, I'm a digital nomad. I have my gym, I have my coffee, I have my co-working space, I have good internet, I have furniture. All I got to do is find my hairdresser. you know, when you're a digital nomad, you don't, and we have several digital nomads that live with us that are influencers and just regular, they literally travel the world because they can. And feedback that I've gotten is, it's so stressful. Every city they go to, you have to find where to get your day to day, your dry cleaner. You have to find where you can work outside your apartment. Okay, you got to get a gym membership. Got to rent furniture. And what's so amazing about our brand that I get so excited about is that we've literally thought of everything, and we're continuing to even evolve by adding housewares package or an apartment in a box, and everything's turnkey when you arrive. And that's what led to the corporate division. So that's a little bit of background about Kenect.
I'm fascinated with the brand, with what you guys are building. I know you're getting ready to step into a new role as right as director of corporate enterprise sales and partnerships, and kind of building those partnerships. And so I think as you continue to build the vision for Kenect, like what does that look like in the future?
Oh my gosh, it's just the sky's the limit. After helping develop this corporate sales division with a dear lady that I happened to meet on a plane. Her name is Karen Conti, and we sat next to each other. And on a cross country flight, it is, you maybe start talking sometimes you don't. Well, it was one of those lucky days that I just happened to strike up a conversation. You can tell I'm not shy. I could pretty much talk to a bottle of ketchup, but So anyway, she is a corporate sales division leader, and over her many decades of leading in the corporate world with Procter & Gamble, Gillette, major marketing companies, I was just a sponge. And I have to give so much credit to her really helping me set up this correctly, really market towards the corporate client. And she has just been a godsend. And I'm really excited to now lead this whole division, because it came from somebody outside of our industry, and I was able to soak it in. Like with you come from the corporate world. You have written blogs and articles and worked with major companies and corporations, including pharmaceuticals. And so I just learned a lot from you as well of what does the corporate client want? For me, it's like, let's sell an apartment, but do they really need that? And it's actually about the human being to get them there to be productive, to start their job. And from close to 14 years currently in this industry, moving is the most stressful thing you can do as part of your life, besides starting a new job or a new relationship or public speaking. I'm nervous right now, but so it's
You're so articulate,
oh
girlfriend.
God, but these are the most stressful things people do, and I help these people through this. This is just what we do every day. So the more that we can ease the transition of the stress of moving, and then also support the corporate client to get their employee to the job, get them settled to start work on Monday, it's just been a home run, because there's such a demand for corporate companies and even small and large corporations that they're relocating people to our cities, because Nashville, Phoenix, Denver, Minneapolis, Cleveland, they're booming cities. And there's so many small tech companies, and there's a huge healthcare presence. They're always moving human beings. So what I do is now with this corporate division, I'm able to set up a one-stop shop, flat rate, all-inclusive, turnkey structure. And that's really kind of been our point of difference in the multifamily industry, because now there's no, well, you got to add that, or you have to add that, and you can't really work with your budgets. So now that I've brought this fully loaded one flat rate pricing, now corporations can say, wow, I'm getting this daily rate, and I don't have to put my employee in a hotel for 6 months while they look to buy a house. Or, okay, now I'm a realtor or a developer. Oh my gosh, I can now breathe a little bit, because now I can get this person's house finished, and they have a really nice luxury place to stay and work and live. while their house is being developed. So there's just so many rabbit holes I've gone down that I wouldn't have even thought possible where the demand is. And we're such a small company still that we can cater and be nimble to all these demands that different companies and clients have with this corporate division. Being from the corporate world and traveling, and I've been traveling for 12 years on the corporate side as well, and I live in hotels, and maybe we have a little corporate apartment, but it's always not outfitted. Like, what has been your qualm as a traveling professional as well?
Yeah, I think it's just been that, like, the gyms are not always the greatest, or they're packed. And so you go down there and you're like, well, I can't even like use the machinery because there's one treadmill or two and people are on it. So that's always frustrating. I loved that when I went to Kenect, because I just to see all of the amenities, to see the not just, the space is just aesthetically.
Massive, right?
It's yeah, and beautiful, and the pool overlooking the city. Like, who wouldn't want that type of environment? But I also thought of it too as just such a value add, because especially as a young person, I think, gosh, when I was younger, like thinking about having to choose to like buy furniture to fill an apartment versus, well, I can't afford a gym membership because I gotta buy furniture, I gotta
Right.
buy utensils, I gotta buy all of these things, I've got to, like, a microwave, I've got to do all of these things that like kind of thrust you into adulthood, so to speak, but you're in college. And yes, you might get things secondhand or whatever, but it's still money going out. And I always look at it from like a wasteful standpoint of, I am like a quality over quantity person.
Right.
So to be able to have a turnkey, a product and a place that has everything that I need under one roof would have been so much more beneficial than like wasting my time, effort, energy, and resources and money on something that I bought from Walmart to put together because it just served the need at the
Right.
time, because I couldn't afford, my restoration hardware or my Haverty's or my, whatever it is, or our house or whatever, I couldn't afford those types of pieces in college or even post college when, Dan and I were first married. And I think about that. And I also think about the opportunities it could have afforded us to move to a bigger city,
Well,
move
and
to
I think you just hit the nail on the head with the value add. And that's one thing, I always want to train my teams. And we even have speaking points on the tour path of here's all the value. And so, of course, when you look at our square footages, it's, whoa, that's a price per square foot. But, we quickly remind everybody that we're not price per square foot, because this is not priced for you to just be living in this apartment. This is your lifestyle. And when you find our prices and everything that's included, you don't have to make $200,000 a year. You don't even have to make $100,000 a year. You can have this lifestyle. And this is what is so amazing of what Rajan has built, and what all the studies and everything that he's gone into with our custom furniture that took 2 to 3 years just as our prototype. If you go to the website, in our YouTube, you'll see I have so many videos up there of our electric Murphy bed. It comes out of the wall with a remote, and so you can transform your space. And then it has a built-in armoire, it has a hideaway desk that comes out of the wall, and then everything goes over the coffee table, so you don't have to come home, move things. And that's kind of our studio life. And of course, we have the 1 bedrooms, and then our co-living, which is 3 bed 3 baths, and everybody has their own private bathroom and bedroom, but they share the common area with roommates. So that's, kind of a hybrid bring back from our purpose-built housing, which is great for the flight attendants, the traveling nurses, grad students, residency doctors that just need to have literally a crash pad, but you get all the benefits of living at Kenect that you would have with a normal membership. But going back to value add, is that not only do you not have to go buy furniture and lug that around, you don't have to get your gym membership, your gorgeous pool.
Right.
We do 30 events
Right.
a month with fitness classes, and everything's intentionally designed to connect people. I know, I said it. There you go.
Love it.
Everywhere you go in the building, like having you here in a couple weeks for our event, we are bringing people together to learn something, to be educated. And that's how all of our events are curated by our director of membership experience, Jenna Gottlieb. We have Kate Cameron, who is just a phenomenal event director as well. And so they're constantly getting feedback from all of our members. We're constantly doing surveys. What's the best time that you would want to come to an event? What do you want to learn from an event? So over the past 4 years, we've learned that Events are not great on Friday nights at our properties. We've now do our events Tuesday through Thursday, and that's where we get most member engagement. Or there's a Sunday brunch and yoga session, because it's Nashville, people always want to do brunch. So, in Phoenix, I mean, everybody in big cities loves to do brunch, let's be honest. So, but going back to the value, I cannot hammer that home enough, is that everything having that under one roof for one price has just shown people that they're saving thousands upon thousands of not having to do all these extra expenditures. And I even have a value check of an exercise I did where I went through and I looked at all of the things we could spend money on: commute time to work, going to the pet park, getting a pool membership, a gym membership, how much we all spend on coffee every day, and I put all that together. How much do you think, just on in general, that was per month?
I would say easily, just because I just know the price of like gym memberships. They can be expensive, depending on, what you get.
Right.
But I would say easily 300 a month.
Oh, no, it was over $3,000 that we are
Oh my
spending
gosh.
on all these
Oh,
expenditures. Yes.
oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, are you kidding?
yeah. So just think your cup
Oh
of
my God.
coffee, perhaps if you got 2 cups of coffee a day at $5 a pop. I mean, that's over $180 a
Yeah.
month right there if you do that 5 days a
Yeah.
week, or yeah, 5 days out of the week. Your furniture rental could be nearly $800 a month. Your commute time to work, I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't
that's
think about that. Oh my
priceless.
gosh.
Your gym membership, Orange Theories, things like that. I mean, they're absolutely amazing for what they offer, but that's close to $180 a month. So you add that up, and that's close to over $14,000 a year that we are just spending on things. And now that we've taken all that value and it's all under one roof with your rental rate included, including high-speed internet and just things that we expect, a washer and dryer, smart TVs mounted in your apartment for your streaming services, that's all been thought of. And that's what gets me excited about this, on top of all the hospitality stuff that we do. So just bringing it back for me, it's like coming from hotels and serving others. That's a big part of just who I am as a human being. I've always loved to plan parties and cook breakfast for my mom and entertain people, and I love serving people, and this is part of our brand pillar, and it just makes me so excited.
Oh, I love your passion. I think like it's coming through the screen and through the audio. Like I just
I
can
love
tell
hearing
how
that.
passionate you are about it. And I do want to shift a little bit to the programming, because that is such an important aspect, because I think that is another piece of that brand pillar and value add, because you guys are giving your members an opportunity, and you're exposing them to different kinds of programming. So you want to explain a little bit about the programming
Oh,
and
absolutely. And being more on the sales side, and every time I go to the properties, I'm just like, what's going on this week? And we have our calendars up, and we have our digital screens, and all the things that people can scan and RSVP to. One thing I like that where our programming has evolved is how digitized it is, and we've really tried to train our members to RSVP. I think post pandemic, we're used to making reservations. We're used to, getting our tickets in advance. And I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Keeneland Race Track. It's a huge part of our culture here in Kentucky, where I'm based. And now we have to get tickets ahead of Keeneland. We used to be able to just walk up and get our general admission tickets, but now everything's planned. So we've taken this into our programming so we can curate really neat off-site experiences, or really highly curated cooking classes, or dinner parties that we can have with local restaurants. And one thing that we love, that so it's not just, hey, everybody show up, get food, and then they're out the door. It's a really thought out strategy of, okay, this is going to be for 10 people only. And then people start telling their friends and neighbors, hey, are you going to that? Are you going to that? And then they're starting to be trained to RSVP. And one thing I love that Kate and Jenna, as well as Mariah and Phoenix, they're really intentional with, okay, this is going to be a workout class. This is our mixology classes, or we're having a comedy night, and we're really trying to get with all local vendors. We love to use local vendors. That's actually part of the membership brand as well, as much local as possible, and that is always curated into our events and programming.
It's such a wonderful program that you guys provide, and it is really thought out. I love the strategic approach that you have to connecting people to connect and just to their local community. I'm just in love with the concept, love with the idea. I really wish we had one in here in South Florida.
We're working on
So
it.
wink,
We're
wink.
working on it.
It's a beautiful co-working space as well. And you're right. I mean, I've stayed there before, and it is just a one-stop shop. And I think in this day and age of like ease of things, like kind of that path of least resistance, we've also corporately relocated, 3 times.
I
And
know.
so
I kept up with all of that on your social. I just
yeah,
moving
and
and
throughout
starting
that.
your new job. It's all that stress, right?
Yes, yes. And one of those corporate relocations, we were in a fully furnished apartment, but to your point, like we didn't have everything set up. Like we didn't have the membership, and we didn't want to go for 2, 3 months and go get a membership in where we were located, because our home was being, was being prepped and ready like somewhere else. So to your point, to be able to have something like that right there readily available that we could still use and basically pick up and assume our life there
Right.
in that moment for that time being, like nothing really had to be readjusted or changed, would have been such a game changer for us. When you were talking about everything that you guys add, and bring to the table for your members, I just was thinking back on that experience and like, man, that would have been so much more beneficial for us
Oh,
to
I
be able
know. And
to
people think
utilize.
that we added a lot of these services, after 2020. And the fact is that this was developed back in 2011 because Rajan, being kind of the forefront of the purpose-built student life, knew, okay, what's next? And it took so long to even get the furniture right to maximize our spaces of what people need, what people really want. Built-in charging stations for your phone or touch headboard lighting to change the vibe of your space. These are little things that we've methodically put into our apartment so people can change the vibe, transform their space without having to move a lot of furniture. And then we find our healthcare and digital nomads and traveling athletes and musicians. They just have to bring their clothes and their laptop and whatever devices they need, and they can just set up shop and they're out the door. And so this has really been developed throughout the whole transition of building this brand, not just adding it post pandemic for co-working and office space and having to go back and retrofit our buildings. This is how we have built ground up. And it's really exciting, especially with our front facing retail, to have even more restaurant services. We have a ramen shop going in. We have Nacho Daddy in Nashville. We even have our own market that's called Market. And I know we should have gotten a little bit more creative on that title, but we got to keep it simple. It fits with our brand typography. So it's going to be healthy grab and go, and then we'll have a barista bar, and then at nighttime it turns into a happy hour social place. So we're still people can bring their clients, people can network, they can set up their laptop and take a call really quick or go upstairs to co-working. But to your point, it's just, this is what we're catering to, and this is what this brand is purpose built for. And I really feel like we've kind of taken the business model of multifamily and just flipped it on its head. So it's like, oh, yeah, we do 30-day rentals. We do short-term leases. We do long-term leases. In Phoenix, we even have a flooring of nightly rentals that we outfitted, and we have permits to rent those out through booking.com or Airbnb for those nightly apartment rental stays. And so it's just, we keep evolving, but all of these things were really thought out before we put shovels in the ground for Nashville. And this original building started in Chicago, and it's down by the West Loop, kind of where all the trains kind of connect. And that's where a lot of the vision came behind Kenect. Rajan's a Chicago guy, and that's where the Kenect vision kind of came about all fruition.
I love it. I love the intention. I love the vision. What a visionary concept,
It really is.
and truly to make people's lives better and to serve people. And
I mean, you keep saying literally our taglines, and it's really to give people the life they want, to live, the flexibility to live life how they want. And that is actually in our tagline and in our brand statement. So you get it. I feel like you're a Connect member already anyways. I mean, you're part of our
know.
You're part of our Kenect family, and we love having you. And people are already talking about the vision board class coming up, and just having you at our property. It's something so different that we don't normally do. So having you back like every quarter, or a couple of times a year, where people can reset and strategize. It's just, you're right in our brand pillar. So you are a connector.
Yes, I love it. And I love it for that reason, because you're right. And I've met, Connect members that I'm still connected with.
Oh,
That's the
good. I
beauty
love
of it.
that.
And I'm excited to see them again when I come up, when I come up in a couple weeks. And, we've also started to branch out. And I love that now we're starting to take even like, my mom friend connections and introduce them to you, because we have kids who are going to be in college in a few
Oh my
years.
God.
And so some of them might end up at Vandy or at Belmont or in those areas, and you service that. And so I think from like just a parent's, like mindset of knowing, oh my gosh, this is where my kid could end up
Right.
being. I love the security level of things. I love like everything is so top notch. Like when I went there, it's just, and on top of it, it's just such a beautiful space
It
as
really
well.
is.
So like you have just the best amenities, the best of both worlds. Like it's such a fascinating and incredible concept, and I'm just kicking myself that like we didn't think of this ourselves. Like,
I think, we all came from really big companies when, we really started branching out in 2019. And of course, nobody could have predicted 2020 and us having to lease up
right.
and open these buildings, two buildings during a pandemic in boom towns, which is a whole other podcast that we could talk about. And I could do a whole panel on, leasing up during a major pandemic and all the new SOPs we had to write. But,
Yeah.
just going back and like keeping everything all under one roof and helping parents of young professionals that are coming into the world. They're so busy and they're on to the next thing. They're doing interviews and helping, and parents are so involved these days, which I absolutely love working with parents from my student days, because it's their biggest investment. I get it. This is your biggest investment, leaving the nest, and you have to know where it is, making sure that is within their budget, and they're not having to buy all this furniture and set up utilities when they're just going to be there for a year. And we hope that with our members, they can now start traveling around to each Connect and they get the same service. So okay, I'm graduating from Vandy. I'm now going to go do my residency in Denver. And oh, there's a Connect. I know that I'm going to get a furnished apartment. I know I'm going to have my coffee and gym, and I'm going to be able to meet people. And then we're building this networking social hub all over the United States. And we will go international with this. We've already been approached to do this internationally. But the reality is that we're still tweaking the product, which is really exciting. And we get all that feedback from our members. So this is just going to be a place that you can live and work and learn and explore in your new city. And that's another part of our brand.
I love it.
So what are we going
I'm
to
in
do
love
with
with
your
it.
event? What are people going to learn?
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. So we are going to pour into ourselves at this event, and I love that, because here's the thing: it's springtime, and we're starting the second quarter of the year. We're the fourth month of the year, and a lot of mindsets can be, one mindset could be, oh my gosh, we're already 4 months in, like just forget it. I'll just continue to kind of like keep doing what I'm doing, and like I'll wait till next year. Didn't really execute in the first quarter. Couldn't really get up off the ground. So we're going to reframe that mindset because we still have 8 months left. We still have 3 more quarters of the year, and there's so much that can still be done. We're going to talk about just the empowerment piece, how we create and set that vision for our life. And we're going to outline a few goals that each participant can work on that might take them, the next 3 quarters or the rest of the year, or even into next year. And that's okay, because I share with all of my participants that your year can start today.
Yep,
It
that's what
doesn't
I
have
love
to start
about you.
January
Yes,
1st.
it's just get
And
started, right? Just start.
just get
Yes.
started. Just start. Yes. Yep. And that's how concepts like Kenect happen, because people just start. They decide to not, to quit thinking and just put action in place of that, and just start doing and put one foot in front of the other. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a unique, and we're going to have everything from students to
I can't
moms
wait.
to teachers to business. I mean, it's I'm so pumped for the eclectic group of people that we're going to bring together. Many might have never been to Kenect as well.
Right.
So introducing that concept to them and introducing all of the wonderful amenities that you guys have in the membership, co-working space, everything. Those are things that when I do travel, that's the stuff I look
Mm-hmm.
for. And that's why I love coming to Nashville, because I know I've got a
Yep.
place to work. I know I've got a place to, it's like, I love it. I
It's
love it,
just
love it, love it.
and then you're not
So
as stressed of, where am I going? Am I going to have to work out of a coffee shop, or is it going to be really loud in the background? You know that at Kenect you'll have the co-working space, and there's so many little nooks and crannies to take a quick call or do a video conference, and that's what I love about it too.
okay, so my last question, I've got two
Oh
last
my gosh.
questions. One is, you're in this new role, or about to, like, kind of, step in that role. Like, what is one thing professionally that you're working towards accomplishing this year in that new role?
Oh my goodness, on the spot. It went so quick launching, and again, going back to just, you got to start. And when I was even putting together and working with my consultant with the corporate division, we were building the PowerPoint and all the materials and our little flip books and all the collateral that we need. But yet we were already having presentations and really speaking with corporations and companies that are just having these big, like moving human being problems. So going back to just starting, I mean, was it perfect? No. Is it much more professional now? Yes. But at the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day, there was a demand and we were solving a problem and we had the product. And that's the biggest thing that companies need. So for my goal in 2024 for the corporate division sales is that I want to keep learning about companies that I'm not even aware of yet, that may not even be on my radar, and how they can really understand this product and how I can help save them a ton of money, and then also providing a better experience for their employees that are moving. And I want to keep improving that experience for that traveling professional that's coming in under a corporate group. So if it's a corporate sales of, like, let's say 25 apartments, I want, that really good hospitality touch of a welcome basket and handwritten personal cards and maybe their favorite beer or wine in the fridge when they get there. So I want to keep tweaking it where we can now make it really customized and just even an over the top experience for somebody that already had their expectations met. I want to exceed expectations for that human being.
I love your vision. I love the goals that you're working on achieving. I know that they will come true. I know that
Oh,
you're going to put them
with
into
your
fruition.
help, they
I
will,
have no
because we'll
doubt.
be vision boarding together. And, I come to you of like, hey, like, just, you're such a great mentor to so many people and young people as well. So I know that I'll be coming to you for more mentorship too.
Awesome. Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, so my last question is, where can people find Kenect, you, Akara Partners, like all of the and all the amazing things that you guys have going on?
Sure. So with your event coming up, we have the Eventbrite link, and then also our internal members can come for a discount code. So that'll be on all of the internal newsletters and digitals graphics around the property. If you want to learn about Kenect, you can go to akarapartners.com, AKARA. That means alpha in Hebrew, by the way. akarapartners.com. And of course, Kenect Nashville, kenectphoenix.com. And you can find all about us on YouTube and all of our social channels. So make sure you follow us on all those. We always post really fun, like, kind of behind the pictures videos and really fun content around the property. We'd love to be silly. We don't take ourselves so seriously. We're a little rebellious, which is why I love it. But so follow us on all the social channels too, because we do have a lot of fun there. And you get a lot of information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what, something I don't even think we touched on was the podcast studio. You guys have the Key
We're
Studio as
launching
well.
our
And
podcast in June with it's being led by NBC's voice, Zach Day. He's actually a native of Kentucky as well. And he is just an amazing personality. He's been on American Idol. So he's leading our podcast, and it's called Connecting the Dots.
I
We'll go
love
ahead and
it.
launch that here. And we're already filming content. We're really bringing in our own members of what they're doing, how they're connecting other people, how they've connected at Kenect. And it's just a really fun, casual podcast filmed right on site in Nashville in our Key studio, which stands for Kenect Exclusive Experiences. So if you see Key, that's your key to come and experience Kenect.
I love it.
So
Oh,
cheesy.
just so much fun with this. So no, I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to link everything in the
Thank you
show
so much.
notes. I am also promoting the event on Instagram, on LinkedIn. So if you're in the Nashville area and you want to come, we would love to have you. There is limited seating, so make sure that you get your tickets ahead of time, but it is on April 18th. 10:30 to 1 Central Time. So, but 10:30 to 11 is going to be kind of like the get there network, kind of get situated, and then we're going to get right down to business from about 11 to 12:30, and then another like 30 minutes of kind of closing out and networking and connecting with other people. So I'm really pumped for the workshop and
Can't wait.
really excited to get to see you.
Oh, can't wait to
Yes.
see you there. Hopefully it'll be warmer
Yes.
by
All
then.
right.
We'll be good. Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Thank you,
you so
Maria.
much. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing this. I just love the work that you do. I love your passion. That more than anything, I admire and respect so much because I think that when we're passionate about what we do, so much of what I talk about is like, why are we showing up to
Right.
work? Like, do we know our why? And it is just so clearly evident that you are rooted in your why and your passion for people and for serving them and for really, truly like carrying this brand to the next level. And it just is freaking amazing. I love seeing that.
Oh,
So
that
thank you
just gave me
so,
such good
so much for
inspiration I needed. So I just thank you so much. And I'm so glad you're enjoying it. And we love having you there. And anybody in your circle, if they're a friend of Maria's, they are a family member of Kenect. So please come see us. I'm here to help in any way. And feel free to reach out here to answer all the questions and walk through everybody through the entire process.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
All
It's
right. We'll see you in Nashville on the 18th. Everybody sign up and get your tickets.
yes. Woohoo.